Hello, I'm John and welcome to Bright Spark Ideas. We're going to look at Chinn's batteries today. 12 volt, 100 amp hour, 2.8 volt batteries. I've been meaning to upgrade my solar system. If you've looked at my solar project before, you'll know that I have two battle-born batteries. I've wanted to get more battle-born batteries, but to be quite honest with you, the cost has been prohibitive. I love the battle-born, don't get me wrong. I think they're fantastic batteries, 10-year warranty, most importantly they're made here in the US. And I would love to buy more. Unfortunately, when I bought them, they were almost $1,000 a piece. I purchased these two Chinn batteries for $350 each from Amazon. That way I feel really good about my purchase so far. I'm going to take you through how I'm going to integrate it into my system. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, you're a subscriber, welcome back. Let's take a look at these batteries. Okay, so before we get started, let's take a look at how these things are packed. Always impressed when they use good packaging in a poly bag. What do we got here? Here's the screws and caps. Here's a manual. And okay, this has got pretty good instructions on charging rates, etc. And here's the battery. Okay. Once again, good foam packaging in the bottom. Okay, so here we have the strap. We've got a couple of plugs on here covering the let's have a look here. Okay, so these are good size. Screw and nut, so they'll come on. Should be able to tighten those down. And don't forget, over tighten these. You don't want to have strip out any of those threads in there. All right, serial number, and there we go. Chinn's 12.8 volts, 100 amp. Let's have a look and see. I'm going to set this up on my bank and test them out. So for those of you who have already seen my 3 videos on building my solar system here, you'll know that it's all set up in the basement. Ideal place. It's perfect temperature down here all the time for batteries. Never too hot, never too cold. My 2 lonely battle-born batteries have had to move to the right here to make room for the 2 Chinns. Since I took them out of the box, I put the Chinns on a charger and they are fully charged up. I have also been through the process of completely draining down the batteries and recharging them. So hopefully they should be fully charged. Let's check them and see. Not a lot of room down here in the basement, so hopefully you're going to be able to see this without me getting in the way. So as I said, went through a discharge process and recharge, and so let's have a look. Alright, so this first battle-born is showing 100%. It is 13.6. Let's have a look here. And this one, 100%. 13.8. So we've got a 0.2 volt difference between those two. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Gonna move out of the way here. Go over this side. Okay. And on this side we have 100%, 13.9. So 13.6, 13.8, 13.9. And on this one, we have 100% and 13.6. Okay, so I've recently recharged these. They probably have not settled. So what we're going to do is we're going to top balance these. So we're going to just see if we can level these out a little bit before I fully connect them up to the system. So let's go ahead and do that. There is so little space down here for me to try and have the camera working while I'm wiring this up, or even when I was doing the charging or discharging. Was pretty much impossible. So bear with me. This is just for the wiring here. These are all connected in parallel. Okay, all 4 batteries are now collected in parallel. So we've got a nominal voltage of 13.7, and we're just going to leave these for a day, maybe a couple of days, and see whether or not these batteries level out or not. We can remember what these 3.6, 3.9, 3.8. We'll see whether or not these have leveled out a little bit within a day or two before I wire everything up and get all the system connected and charged back up again. Alright, so it's been about 3 days. I got busy since I connected these up to do some top balancing. Hopefully the cells have balanced out a little bit. I don't know, but I'm going to disconnect the parallel connections, and we'll test each one and see whether or not there's been any change. I'm going to be in the way of the camera to do this, so I'm just going to turn it off and come back again. Alright, so I've disconnected the cables. Let's see if I can do this without getting in the way of the camera. I probably will, but let's see what we can do here. So, alright, so this was the one that was at 13.6. We're now at 13.5. Okay. Alright. 13.5. Okay, this is down from 13.8. And whoops. And 13.5, down from 13.9. So it kind of looks like we've done a good job of balancing these batteries. Let's have a look here. 13.5. Okay. So that's good. We now have all these batteries nicely balanced at 13.5. I guess my next job is to reconfigure the wiring from what was a 24 volt system to battery. Now it's a 4 battery 24 volt system, so I'm going to need to put some new cabling in here and get this all buttoned up. I never get tired of showing my jig that I made for my crimping, hydraulic crimping tool here. So I'm going to just come up with some cables to connect those batteries together, and we'll get that all connected and running. But first we'll just do quick crimps. This is Temco wire that I'm using, and these are the cell term rings that I'm using. So the good thing about this is it's really easy for me to do this one-handed, whereas normally when you're trying to use this crimping tool, as great as it is, it's really difficult. It's a bit like fighting with an octopus. But anyway, nice solid crimps every single time. Just remember to get your orientation right. In fact, I'm going to go down and check and make sure, because I'm coming from batteries with two different terminal connections. So I'm just going to go back down to the basement and make sure I have those in the right direction. Okay, so this one is going to be this way around. So this is going to go across the Chinn's battery, and this one is going to go from the Battle-Born battery to a Chinn's battery, so I'm going to need to have one slightly different orientation of the but that's okay. Okay. Okay, so we are wired back up again. So this is wired up for a 24-volt configuration with the two new Chinn batteries and the two Battle-Borns. Something else you might notice is I removed this shunt from here, which was my battery capacity tester and monitor, and I put a brand new one on here. This is for the junky battery monitor, the one I just reviewed on YouTube, and I'm going to do a second one now. Now I've got all this connected up, and it's got a really cool phone app, so that because this is down in the basement, it's going to be really cool for me to be able to monitor the batteries from upstairs and not have to keep coming down here and checking on things. So that'll be something I will be doing next. What I need to do now is get this all button back up again, get the grow watt turned back on, and the solar power connected, and see how these perform. So before I put the lid on my battery box, I just wanted to show you how the new Junkie, I'm not sure it's Junkie or Junk Tech battery monitor is hooked up. So here is the unit that will sit on top of the box. It's also the one that connects via Bluetooth to my phone, and I'm going to show you that app. But it's basically connected just by this telephone wire, telephone type cable, into this sending unit here. The sending unit also is connected to the positive connection here. The other thing that's here is a temperature probe, which I will probably take down onto one of the batteries. I have another temperature probe actually from my fans here. When I get it on top, I'll explain that as well. But I'm going to go through this unit, but I'm going to probably just put it on top of the box, and I'm also going to do it on my phone. I've put the lid back on. I got to come back and tidy up all that wiring underneath there and neaten it up. It's a mess at the moment. But I just wanted to quickly go through this. This is my battery box. Everything on this system is modular. The battery box is on casters. I can move it around. I've got a sensor here, temperature sensor, that I can set for these fans to come on if the battery's box starts to get hot. But as I said, I'm down in my basement. It's really cool down here most of the time, even in the summer, so I've never even had the fans come on. This is my old battery monitor that was here, but now I've connected up the Junk Tech or Junk T, and at the moment it's just showing that my battery is 89%. It was fully charged, but I've had the grow watt running and the inverter, and this thing does eat up power even when it's not in full use. So that's probably why that's drained down. What we'll do is we'll go on my phone and we'll go through this. It's showing that I have 27.32 volts, and at the moment it's all drawing 1.6 amps. I've really got no load on here at the moment. It's not running my refrigerators and washer and dryer, the usual things that it would run. So I'll go through this with you on the phone rather than be cramped down here in the basement. I'll give you a quick look at my setup before we go upstairs. So as I said, everything is modular. This is an Anderson pull breaker here that I can use to disconnect the battery box from the back panel. The power from the batteries, which is from this switch, comes up through here. There's a circuit breaker before it goes into the grow watt. And here is the grow watt. From inputs, I have into the grow watt is my solar. I have 6 solar panels. I've got 4 100 watt solar panels. They're rich solar, and I have 2 200 watt rich solar. They're 24 volts, feeding this through this cable. Also, we have an AC input, which ties into the grid, so that when the solar and the batteries is no longer available, we get power from the grid. And this is my power out to the appliances that I have attached. And this up here is just another receptacle that I can use for powering other devices. I could be using my power equipment, power drills, etc. from here. So that's the quick setup. Oh, I forgot to mention that I have a breaker box down here, and that controls, I've got a breaker for the incoming power, and I've also got a breaker for the outgoing power. So look here, If anybody wants to know how I built this system, I have 3 videos that I put together over a year ago, back in November of 2019, of how I designed this system, why I built it this particular way to be modular, and every step of the way until I connected it all up to the solar panels. And you'll find those on my site, my YouTube channel. Okay, it took a while for the GrowWatt to figure things out, and now, as you can see, the grid is turned off, and the solar and the battery is charging the providing the power to the appliances. Let's have a look down here and see what the monitor is saying. Okay, so right now we're only pulling just over 1.8 amps, and it's probably because the refrigerators are not running full blast. Certainly the washer and dryer are not working. So let's go, what I originally planned to do was go take a look at this battery monitor and see what we can actually use it for to monitor this system remotely. So as you can see, this is early in the morning, and the batteries had been completely drained during the night, and now the batteries are being charged directly from the power from the grid, because the sun is only just come up, and this is kind of useful to be able to see this from not having to go down in the basement. This video. Yes, I'm really pleased that I purchased the Chinns. They seem to be working perfectly for me right now. I will do another video as an update as I get some more use out of them and see how they compare with the Battleborns. But for now, conclusion, very happy. As for the battery monitor, I like that too. The only thing is I do not like the phone app. And let's take a look at this here. Sorry if I'm making you feel sick. Let me just refocus on this. Okay, so as you can see, we've got conflicting information. The one on the left from the monitor is probably accurate, because the solar panels are in fact powering the batteries. However, on the left here, it doesn't matter how many times I try, the phone app says I'm powering the batteries from the mains, and the information is totally different. Also, I can only use the phone app when the phone is right above the units. This is in the basement here, but I literally have to be up above in the kitchen to get it to work, otherwise it drops the connection. Now, in my experience, this is usually user error, so it's probably something I am doing incorrectly. So before I trash these guys, I'm going to actually talk to them and see if I can figure out what I am doing wrong and get the phone app to work perfectly. When I do, I'll give you another update. So for now, this is Bright Spark Ideas signing off. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe and like this, and that'll encourage me to keep making more videos. Thank you.